Hello, everybody. It is Sunday, the 15th of September. I want to talk about what this world could possibly teach you, since you are a divine, eternal being. Again, been listening to David Icke, and he's steadfast on that point. There's nothing this world could possibly teach me, because I'm all there ever was and ever will be. And I know it all. Okay. The other one I've been listening to is Gregg Braden. And he was talking about the word divinity, yeah? Which means the ability to transcend perceived limitations. So we have, especially as humans in this world, we have the ability to transcend perceived limitations. We can think out of the box, so to speak, which no other level in this world can do. Not the animal. The animal can do it to a very small amount. They can think outside the box. They can think and discover new things. But then it's the vegetative and the mineral most definitely can't. I don't think so. So they are within the limitations. And then we're talking about, again, Gregg Braden is talking about that our DNA spells, the first part of our DNA spells God in the body. Yeah? Which then most people run with, we are the God, we are the divine being that is within the body. And then in the next breath, they say, well, our consciousness is actually outside of the body. So if our consciousness, our divine consciousness, our divine perception, yeah, that can transcend all limitations, if that is outside of the body, what is God inside of the body? Because it's obviously not us. We are outside. We've measured that. Our consciousness is outside of the body, so what is inside? And there's another, contradiction when, again, I just heard that from Gregg Braden, when he says, scientists now say the universe is alive, the universe is consciousness, yeah? And we are just inside of this form. Well, if everything is consciousness, right down to the mineral, then your body is consciousness. It has got its own consciousness, and it's got the consciousness of God, because God is inside of the body, and it's not you. You're the thing that is standing outside. So there is a consciousness here inside of, that is the form that you are attached to during your lifetime. You are attached to God. Obviously not a part of Him, because you're out here somewhere. So, and here comes, of course, the next thing people shout, well, Satan is the God of this world. Satan is the one that imprisons us. Satan is the evil, evil entity that imprisons us in this solid reality. And as I said before, there's nothing this solid reality can teach us, because we are just eternal divine beings that know it all, and we are all there ever was and ever will be. There's nothing this can teach us. Right. So, then let me tell you something. If this is limiting you, the physical is limiting you. It's not imprisoning you. You can't get out. You can't stretch beyond it. You can affect the physical. Yeah? That has been shown. Spiritual forces can affect the physical. And that has been shown. But if it is to an extent limiting you, then that is exactly what this world is telling you, teaching you. that there are limits, that there are limitations, that there are laws, that there are restrictions beyond which you should not go. That is exactly what this world is teaching you. And if you are, as I said, you are a limitless divine being that can transcend all limitations. If that is your natural state as consciousness, then the other you will have to learn. And that is restraining yourself. You have to learn to restrain yourself. Yeah? Right now, again, as we are as children here, and children need to be physically restrained, because otherwise they would do all sorts of stupid things that would harm themselves or others. So they're being physically restrained by the adults. But if you are an adult, does not mean I am all there ever is and ever will be, and now I can move mountains whenever I feel like it. Being an adult means that you can restrain yourself. And that you do restrain yourself. You have responsibility. You are responsible for your own actions. And again, in this world, it most clearly shows you that actions have got consequences, and you are responsible for those. And there are your limitations, the consequences that you create through your actions. And that is what this world is teaching you, the hard way. So, we are divine beings that are being restrained because we're lunatics. Now, again, you look at the God of the Bible. It says, "My will shall be done." Yeah, there are no limitations. And Jesus said the same, make no mistake, he's of them. He became a divine being, meaning he transcended all limitations, and now everything is possible with God. And again, that is, I think, speaking more of the being that is God. Everything is possible. Once you become a God, everything is possible. So he was one of them. So if you look in this world, those that have become godly, yeah? I mean, if you say you can transcend perceived limitations, you gain knowledge that will help you transcend the limitations of this world. Well, by that definition, Klaus Schwab, Fauci, Bill Gates, that idiot Harari, they're all divine beings. There are no limitations. And yes, I think they have pretty much overcome any fear of consequences. I mean, there is your example in this world and what it works once you become a being like that. And you're telling me they have reached the highest level of consciousness. They are now free of restrictions that, those stupid moral restrictions, or, the knowledge of good and bad. Oh no, that's an illusion. Yeah? That is, I've heard that. It's an illusion. It's a lie that was given to you to restrain you. Well, this is what happens, even those idiots in this world. That is the outcome of there being no restraint. That is what you do. Yeah? And you have overcome your lower nature. You have overcome all earthly attachments, which would be empathy, love for others, compassion. Yes, absolutely compassion. They've overcome compassion, which is a part of your lower nature, which is a part of something that you have when you are connected to those around you. You feel compassion. If you're no longer connected to anything around you, there's nothing that can create compassion inside of you, because it's a reaction to others. And if you're not connected, there will be no compassion. So if you overcome this world completely, no, there will be no compassion. Jesus overcame this world completely, and he became one of the enlightened head cases that knows themselves to be divine, that they can overcome all limitations, and anything is possible. And what are we teaching our children at the moment? Yeah? They can be whatever they like. Boy, girl, cat, whatever. There are no limitations. Yeah? We are no longer laying down the law, like when it comes to shoplifting and stuff, you know. What do they say? Oh, the laws are man-made, those are just perceived limitations. We can just go in and take whatever we like. That's the way to divinity. Overcoming limitations. They are on their way to divinity. That's the outcome. So divinity, again, people say high level of consciousness, you know. Divinity, yeah, means good. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just means there are no restraints which are laid on you by this world, by force, until you see that they are good and you accept them for yourself. And you stay within the law. Now, is that just in this world? I mean, is this world the only restrained place in the cosmos where different levels of consciousness live together and they need to find a way to coexist? Again, those that are the highest, that have the greatest abilities, will have to restrain themselves not to be harmful to others, because they can be. They have the ability to be extremely harmful. Just because I can, therefore I should. Yeah? I was made a divine being, therefore I should rule over everything else, and to hell with them. Or does even a divine being have to live within the web of everything else? I mean, at the moment they're trying to get out of it. Schwab and all the others. We are creating a world of our own. We are creating an artificial world, yeah? Where we can lab grow our own meat, where we can get our energy from somewhere, everything that we need, and we are not dependent on everything else. Yeah? We're elevating ourselves above nature. And we will exist away from the restraints of nature. Again, is that good? Or is being a part of all levels of consciousness, that is mineral, vegetative, animal and man, all living together, is that not only the law of this world, is that the law of the universe? And that is that what divine beings have to learn here? Is that what this world teaches you? You are a part of everything else. You are not elevated. You may have great powers, yeah? But you still have to exist with everything else. And in that case, you have to restrain yourself. And if you don't learn that, this world will restrain you. And in fact, in the end, if you really don't want to listen, it will kick you out. And the knowledge of that, the guide to that knowledge, is your body. There is the God of the world has the knowledge of that all parts have to live together. Yeah? And the guide to that is your body. That is the knowledge of God in your body. And if you go against the natural order, and I would say that is a universal order, not just here. Yeah, as below, the world is a reflection of the greater thing, of the universe. And you will have to learn that. The last thing I want to say, and I've heard it, and I mean, we are on our way to divinity. There's no doubt about it. I've heard Johns and Julianne, and I've heard it on the Inspire channel. Johns and Julianne said, well, yeah, we all want to look after our children. We want what is best for our children. But, there is greater out there, and the fear that it might be dangerous to your child should not hold you back. Yeah? So you see a possibility, and that the fact that it might be dangerous to your child should not hold you back. That's the beginning. Yeah? And it's honestly then sacrificing our children for something greater. And on the Inspire channel, the same thing. We want what is best for our children, but there is something greater out there. And that is our way to divinity. That is where we're going full on divine. Anything is possible. And to hell, even with your own children, don't let them hold you back. Whereas the family, the energetic connections between us, especially with our children, that's one of the strongest bonds, the strongest parts of the web. We do away with that. We sacrifice the love for our children for what? A greater love? You achieve a greater love by sacrificing love. Yeah? There is a greater future, so let's forget about our children, whereas they are our future. This whole thing is so back to front. But that is divinity, elevating yourself out of the limitations. Even the limitations of the love for your own child. Then you're full on divine. So something that is full on divine, elevated out of all limitations. Well, in their actions, you would probably call them evil. Because in this world, you do call them evil. And here's darkness and light being the polarity, being part of the same thing. And in essence, the same. There is a point of light where everything is in the right balance. You have the ability to expand. You also have to have limitations, so to still exist in everything else. So then if you are of the perception that everything is limiting and that nothing is possible, you are outside of what is actually the truth. If you think that everything is possible and there are no limitations, so you are full on in the light, you are just as removed from the truth as you were in the darkness, where you thought that nothing was possible. Nothing and all, they are part of the same thing. And they are one as wrong as the other. So yeah, here is divinity coming to this earth, divine beings coming to this earth. We are all there ever was and ever will be, and there are no limitations, which is exactly what this world will teach you, that there are limitations, and you better learn your lesson. And the God that is in the body is exactly that knowledge. That's not us. That is another God. The one that has the knowledge that there has to be limitations. And if you are a being that is honestly all-powerful, then you have to limit yourself. If nothing else can restrain you, you have to restrain yourself. And that's what's called growing up. Anyway, here I leave it at that for today. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.